Welcome to yoga class today. There'll be a couple of props I'll ask you to use during class today. One would be a yoga strap if you happen to have one. This is actually a bathrobe tie that works just as well. We'll also be using a yoga block. You can use a pillow folded in half. You can use a ball. Anything that is helpful to you, of just props that you have around the house, are great. Also, if you need a few minutes to collect these things, you can just pause this video and gather them around. But I also have an additional chair. So this is a rolling office chair, but you could also use a kitchen chair, a stool. You could use several yoga blocks stacked up, whatever works for you, just that you already have around the house. So let's go ahead and just get ourselves grounded into the earth. And we're gonna take a yoga block and kind of place that between our legs. Then we're also going to take the strap and wrap that around our legs. You may ask a caregiver, friend, a helper, loved one to help you with this and getting set up. I would also recommend that you take your socks and shoes off and put your feet either into your foot plate or into the ground, so that your femurs can kind of come out of alignment of your pelvis and just come straight out into kind of a 90-degree angle. It may, if you're in a power chair, may require some adjustment forward or backward in the chair. The other thing that's really fun and a nice way to get some expansion into the chest is to take a towel and roll it up lengthwise and then place it vertically behind you, so it's getting your thorax, your chest off of the back of the chair. And so all of that is just to kind of get us into a position called Tadasana. And Tadasana is just a position that kind of gets us centered, gets us mind-body aware of how we're sitting, how our chest is broadened, which is one of the core sensations of yoga. And now just kind of bring your hands into your lap and just kind of settle in. We're going to talk a lot about the principles today of yoga, of core sensations, of mindfulness, and just some of the universal principles that allow us to be able to connect with our bodies. We've been talking a lot in the communities recently about physical immunity, such as sleep hygiene, nutrition, and just being aware of taking care of yourself. And what I love about yoga, it's really mental immunity. So it's the opportunity to not only practice the physical, the exercise component, but then also to build that muscle in our brain. And so let's get started. And let's just take a few minutes. If you decide you want to just close your eyes and just kind of begin to ground down through your heels, feeling the earth against your toes, in the chair, towel or bolster behind you, offsetting you a little bit, but just make sure for sure that you're safe in your balance. And that may be leaving your armrest down. It may be also placing an additional bolster or a towel on either side of your side body here, just to give you some stability there and just groundedness. Visualization of bands stacking. And what I mean by that is envision a band just kind of stacking around your hips here at the base, like a golf ball on a tee, just kind of getting yourself kind of just set up in the cue as an opportunity for expanding. Visualize a band coming around your rib cage and stacking over your pelvis, and just kind of find that center. Stacking around your chest, centering over the diaphragm and over the pelvis, and stacking around your head, over the chest, over the ribcage, diaphragm, and over the pelvis. And notice how that expansion, grounding through your sits bones, but then expanding through your chest, broadens the collarbone and brings body awareness. A few minutes with breath as we're now stacked in Tadasana in a nice alignment. Feeling the rib cage at ease and the opportunity to open your breath. Let's, for 2 counts, and then exhale for 4 counts. 3, 4, 5, 6. That 1 to 2 ratio of inhale. Feeling the chest broaden and exhale. On your own. To your stacking and your sits bones as you're breathing. Just kind of recalibrating the day. Recognizing it's spreading awareness in your body. Universal principles that Matthew Sanford teaches at Mind Body Solutions. We're going to be talking a lot about those principles today as we cycle through our breath. The bones ground down in one direction, your chest expands in an upward direction, and your sternum lifts and broadens and spreads. You've closed your eyes, open your eyes back up. A bit of movement with our breath, and starting with our right shoulder. As we inhale, let's pull that shoulder back, even if we even just have a slight twist in the trunk. As we inhale, and then exhale, allow that right shoulder to come forward. Back with the right shoulder, and then exhaling. Just feeling that gentle twist, that awareness in the spine. Eyes a little bit over to the right. Exhale, let's release that and move to the left side. Your hand may slide. You may decide to have an open face up hand, just whatever works for you. Twisting to the left. Really just getting that scapula, that shoulder blade gliding. That foundation for our movements. So this begins to add some expansion. Balance a little bit. As we ground down through our feet, through our sits bones, as we elevate through our sternum. Coming back through center. Now let's bring both shoulder blades back and really feel that chest broaden. Create a beautiful strengthening of the muscles on the back side of the shoulder and a stretch on the pectoral muscles on the front side of the shoulder. Pull back and exhaling as we come forward. Closed and eyes open, just whatever works in your body. Forward, inhaling as we pull back. We're balanced. We're creating a rhythm with our breath. All of the core sensations. Do a mindful thought process, just paying attention on purpose. The same way you would if you're showing up for a very good friend. Exhale, just release. Just kind of shake it out. A good friend of mine, Oliver, taught me this, yoga master, shaking it out in between different postures. As you feel yourself tense in your face and your jaw, just let that go, let that melt. Just recalibrate. Arms to our side, and still moving with that breath of the expansion of the rib cage, only to the front and the back, to the side, to a diagonal, almost like a balloon that's blowing up on the inside as you inhale in your rib cage, and then the balloon releases in all directions equally. So let's bring our hands down by our side, and as we inhale, let's bring our arms just off our lap. If you feel comfortable and steady and well balanced, you can bring it up to about a 90 degrees position, like so. And then as we exhale, come back down. Inhale, grounding down through our sits bones to elevate the shoulders, and then exhale. Still at that kind of 1-to-2 ratio, shorter inhale, longer exhale, with the purpose of being to expel that stale carbon dioxide that builds up in our lungs when we don't fully exhale. To out to the side, an abducted, elevated position. Off, one modification would be to hold on with one arm and just do a single arm. And kind of bracing against the armrest of the chair. Bringing that awareness to the expansion of the ribcage in all directions. Not about achieving. It's really about the mind-body sensation. And then if you're modifying, switch arms. Otherwise, just keep both arms moving. Bones, keeping the bands stacked upon one another. And just go with ease, no gripping of the jaw. Mimics what's happening with our rib cage as we elevate. Getting tiring on your neck, just take a breath out. Take a moment to stop, to give yourself pause. Not about striving, just about letting go. Beautiful position of our pelvis, creating grounding so that we can expand through our chest. We'll make this the last one. How you doing out there, Tom, Peggy? Miss you guys. Shake it out a little bit. Teresa. Again, with our arms back in a position, you're going to see my hand internally, as I exhale, internally rotate, and externally rotate away from you as we inhale. So this is part of the triplanar motion that happens in our ribs. I'm going to externally rotate. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see me. As we inhale and then external, internal release. Feel yourself straining in your neck. Take a pause. Take a moment to let go. Back through the heel bones into the ground. The femurs coming straight forward out of the pelvis. Exhalation. Build a little heat as we grow through our expanded chest, as we grow through the crown of our head, lifting up, decompressing our cervical spine. Air through our lungs. Exhale, hands back in the lap, shake it out, just let it go. Purpose. What are you noticing in your body now? As we move into some neck opening and neck stretches, let's take our left hand and let's reach down the ground, toward the ground. So one of the universal principles is we're going in two opposite directions. So the hand is going down and the right ear is going to just gently reach for the right shoulder and then back up again. So we're going to start with what I call a little flossing technique. Right ear to shoulder, back through center. Go naturally what feels just a normal rhythmic breath for you. So we're just going to continue this, and the more you reach toward the ground, the more you may feel a stretch on the up side of our shoulder, where we get a lot of tension from repetitive movements, just propelling a chair, transfers. It's just kind of like prepping the tissue. On the next exhale, we're going to reach down and then allow the weight of your head to create that long stretch, that tucking the shoulder down and back, feeling the broadening of the chest, the collarbones, the elevation of the sternum. Next inhale back through center. Now you can just taking a moment, I call it kind of the bobblehead moment, where you just kind of notice that the difference between your right and your left side. So still continuing with that left side, we're going to reach again to the floor. This time we're going to look over our opposite shoulder and then back through center again, back to the flossing. Look over my shoulder with my eyes, and the exhale as I come back forward. Oops. You gotta hydrate. Turn, let's look over our shoulder and hold. Building strength in our neck muscles, our scapular muscles. Center, shake it out. I'm stretching several different structures along the neck. One has been the upper trap, the rotators, and then now there's a muscle that comes right along the back of the shoulder blade called the levator scapulae, and we're going to get that one next. So we're going to reach down to the floor, We're going to turn 45 degrees the opposite direction and then look down toward the armpit. Back up and then back through center. Prepping the tissue for a sustained static stretch. Check your shoulder blade down and back, how that changes the sensation. About how far you go. Maybe you've had some fusion or hardware in your neck. You want to be mindful of not moving too deeply into these stretches. Just go at your own pace, your own body. Achieving. Let's go 45 degrees, look down, and then hold. And a couple of breaths here. Center, hands in your lap. And then again, feeling that sensation right to left. There's always one side that's going to be tighter and looser than another. Now let's reach with our right hand and let's allow our left ear to drop towards our left shoulder. And then back through center, just flossing that out, back and forth. Let your breath be natural. You can incorporate this into your daily practice. It doesn't require a class or a person to guide you. Maybe where your sticky spots are, and then you work those particular stretches. Now in the next breath, let's exhale and then just pause. Again, tucking that shoulder blade down and back. The skin of your hand. The tight flexors. Center and release. Hand, let's look over our left shoulder and back through center, flossing. Working our way up to one of our key poses, and that's Trikonasana is where we're going today, in case you're wondering. Stretch, pause, looking over your shoulder, particular with your eyes. Center, shake it out. Are you there, Georgia? Let's with our right hand, 45 degrees and down towards our armpit, and then back up through center. And let's pause, 45 down towards the armpit, and then hold. Through center, shaking it out. Now I recommend taking your strap. If you have 2 bathrobe straps, that works great. But if not, you can remove the strap off of your legs and then take that same strap and with it. So that you have a little loop that you can kind of press into here. So the loop can go above the elbows like this, or if it feels available to you to go around the wrist, that works too. And so now we're really going to start building some heat, kind of start really get things moving in the shoulders. And so the idea is that you're going to keep your palms facing each other. You're going to lift off of your lap and then press out into the taut strap and keep it taut. And you're going to really feel that work happening in the shoulders. You'll feel your sternum elevate, your clavicles, your collarbones will broaden, and you really start to build heat. Maybe even 50% effort here. And if you find this is straining in your neck, or if you're holding your breath, clenching your jaw, let it go, or just bring your arms back down. Just take a little break. We're going to go about 4 cycles of this, okay? So even just coming off, or even just resting your hands and pressing out into the strap is an excellent strength builder, heat builder. And think of rolling your biceps out and your tricep in without rotating your hands. So it all comes from the scapula, the shoulder blades. The deltoids also in the back of the shoulder, and then a slow release. 2 more here. In your neck, bend your elbows and just kind of drop in. Still can have the hands off of the lap and pressing out. Building in my shoulders. Still, as we're in spring, but we're approaching still the cool evenings. We're going to be talking about some of these that you can use to build heat in your body. And this is one of them. And then release. Last one. And even if it's available to you and you want to go a little bit higher but still can be safe with your balance, then press out. Down and shake it out. Very nice. Let the strap release out of your hands. You can just leave it in your lap, toss it on the floor. And then let's just kind of shake it out with a few cat-cows. So let's put our hands against our legs and then extend and inhale in our chest and then round and exhale. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see. Inhale and exhale. Carving that air through your lungs. And just kind of letting go of that heat, strength building. Getting elongation in the spine, lifting the head, broadening the shoulders. Last one. And then back through center, just kind of restacking those bands along one another. Ground down through the sits bones, through the heels. And there's a technique in yoga called breath of fire, and it involves basically like snapping the belly, and that involves the diaphragm. So the diaphragm is really important in making that happen. And so on some of these cold nights and evenings, if you're finding yourself having a hard time regulating your temperature, this is a really neat technique. And it basically goes like this. So no movement in the body. Just a forced exhalation. At any time. So try that out. See what you think about that. We're going to move into, again, still kind of building that heat in our arms. So we're going to move into eagle pose right now. And again, that can also involve a strap. So the strap could go above your elbows And your arms, your right arm can stack. Your left arm goes under and your right arm goes over. So this is a modified form. So I'm pressing out into the strap as I inhale, bringing my arms up. And if you have a caregiver or a loved one there with you, they could support you under your arms and just give a gentle lift as you inhale. And then exhale. Noise of inhalation, exhalation, they can follow along with you and where to be supportive. And if Eagle is available to you, you can bring your right arm under, your left arm under, your right arm over, and then attempt to clasp your hands as you inhale, feeling that stretch on the shoulder, all in preparation for our Trikonasana pose. Just make sure, please, that you're safe, that you're grounded in your seat. Right arm under our left arm over. Again, pressing out into the strap here. Inhaling. Chest spreads awareness throughout the whole body. Our sits bones move down into the earth. Alignment creates sensation. It's effortless. To move through our body. On release. Strap can fall. And just shake it out a little bit. Shake out the nervous system. Let's put our hands back in our lap and just get a little rhythm happening in our pelvis and our spine, and just moving in a circular pattern. More flexion as we move in the back, so rounding, and then more like a cow extension as we come forward. Just kind of lubricating those hips, creating our own WD-40 in our hips, in our spine. Rhythm, grounding, expansion, all is happening in this movement. All the core sensations are happening right here. How far you're going, how far you're not going. And then let's switch directions. A pencil on the top of your head, and you're just drawing a circle on the ceiling. To be long and feel like it's pulling up towards the ceiling. Taking that load off of the discs, the passive structures. Center, just letting that go. Pulling heat into that position today, we're going to bring our left arm, our left hand behind our neck, so it can either be at the neck, the back of the head, or just kind of clasp against the shoulder. And if you have an assistant there, they could come in and just give you a little assist through the back side of the elbow. And so it looks like this. We're going to inhale, and then we're going to look up to the left side of the ceiling, where the ceiling and the wall meet. So we're kind of at an angle, building this kind of side body opening, feeling that expanse of the rib cage. And then breathing. Soften your jaw. Still stacking your bands here. Feeling your sits bones ground down. That mind-body sensation of balance. Eat builder. Release. Letting that go. Tight in the front side of the shoulder. You can even get a little tingly in the hand from stretching here on the brachial plexus structures there. Now let's take our right hand. Again, assistants could come in and just give a slight support here on the back of the elbow. Inhaling and then looking up to the right where the ceiling and the wall meet and creating that expanse of your chest, side body. Training, just back off. Let go, come back down. Just bringing that awareness to the openness in the chest and the shoulders. We can use our additional chair prop, which I have here. And you may even want to lift the armrest on your chair back so it's kind of out of the way. So here now, I'm going to ground down through my feet, through my pelvis. I'm going to lean towards the support of the chair. And again, assistants, you may want to come in and give a little support here. And then I can either raise my elbow up into triangle pose if it's available to me. I can even stretch my arm, relax the supporting shoulder, let the shoulder blade drop down. And here we are in triangle pose. So it can even look like that. It can even look like that. There's lots of different ways. And again, skin on the bicep, spreading the skin on the palm of the hand. When we get into poses that require a lot of effort, we tend to tense in our face and we tend to stop our breathing. And so just bringing our awareness back to that. Release the top hand and then release the bottom hand. Let that go. Pro production here, as you can tell. So now I'm going to bring my hand onto the chair. I could even have my palm closed, supporting here, tucking that shoulder, and then moving either here, 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 or here into Trikonasana. Grounding down through the feet, breathing. On the palm of the hand, tucking the shoulders down and back, the upper arm and the lower arm, and then now just shaking it out. Beautiful Trikonasana. Into just a bit of a spine twist, and so again we can use our strap. It can look a lot of different ways. I'm going to reconfigure my bathrobe strap here. And what I'd like to do is now, you can do the same thing on your yoga strap if you have one, is make a loop at the end. To move your armrests out of the way or leave them there for first safety. And so now let's take that loop and let's bring it to our left shoulder. Kind of hook it around the shoulder. I kind of like the bathrobe because it's soft. It's nice. And then we're going to flip it behind us. So now it's coming behind me and under my right shoulder. So as we inhale, we're going to expand our chest, but as we exhale, we're going to use our right arm or an assistant, either way, to pull us into just a little bit of rotation. But let it happen from the spine. Don't force it there with your right arm. Just let it happen from the spine. You can also hook if you'd like to. And as you inhale, just relax the twist. As you exhale, create more of a twist. And again, keeping those bands stacked over the top of your head. Pre-recorded videos, if anytime you want to pause and maybe spend more time with one particular pose, you're welcome to do that. It's your practice. So now let's release that back to the front through center. And now let's do the same thing on the right side. Excuse me. So we're going to go around the right shoulder, back behind you. And this feels really nice. It's just a really nice prop to open the chest. So we're going to inhale, and as we exhale, we're going to rotate to the right. And we may decide we want to hook on the back of the chair or not, or just rest on the armrest, whatever feels right in your body. Just adding a millimeter of rotation. Just whatever feels right in your body. To use the strap, but just to create that in your own spine. You can release that. I always like on that one, I didn't mention, was also bringing your hands together and creating tension, or even the palms together with the hands closed, and creating that through the tension in your shoulders. You can use the same type of rotation. So just different modifications, different ways of thinking about it. So wonderful. Okay, so one of the next poses we're going to go into is a little bit of a downward dog, and there's lots of different ways that can be approached. So this chair can come quite in handy because if it's slightly above me, I can place my arms on the chair, and then I can move into an extension of the spine. I can let the head drop. I can keep the head up, which is helpful to keep an elevated chest. Is I can use a wall. So if I were to turn my chair around, I could come to the wall here and really get some beautiful extension in the spine and the shoulders. Here. that sensation is creating in your own body. Do so. Just back off. Head against the wall, or have a towel against your forehead here. A couple more breaths. Backing out of it. And I'm going to just turn my chair back around. And so, really, really nice. That's one that can be done on the floor as well. Wall, chair support. And so, I'm going to take a couple of minutes to just do a little guided meditation with you to close our practice and to move into a Shavasana. So I ask you to just close your eyes and take a moment to turn down to your right foot. And we're just going to pay attention on purpose to different body parts. We're going to just take that breath, circle it around our foot. Right foot, our right big toe. Move freely up to the right shin, the right kneecap, around our right thigh, perhaps even noticing the sensation of the heat of our hands on our thigh, or on our right thigh, right hip. Or to relax. The great things our body just did for us today. Bringing our attention down to our left toe. Breath up and down the left toes, kind of like a little roller coaster, inhaling at the top of the toe and exhaling at the bottom. So the outside of our left foot. Left shin as it circles around, relaxes, lets go. Great circles. Breath. Expand the belly as it moves in and out naturally. Through to the heart, bathing it with kindness and love. Come now down to the right hand, the right thumb. Over the top of the hand to the forearm. Any tension there, the elbow. Attention down to the left thumb. Roller coaster up and down the fingers, the hand. Do the left elbow, circling around the bicep and the tricep of the left arm, the shoulder, scapula, the base where the head and the neck meet. The scalp, the hair, relax your hair between the eyebrows. Bringing attention to the breath into your right nostril. Carve that breath out. On the base of your lung. Left nostril. The base of the left lung. Perhaps even noticing the temperature. Sensation of how different you feel from when we started. To the room. And you want to tip your chair back into more of a reclined type position, great. If not, you can just remain in a seated position as we move into our Shavasana. I'm going to leave you with a picture of one of my favorite places, Estes Park in Colorado. And just unwind the time and just take this time in for yourself. What your body has just done for you. And with that, I'll leave you with my favorite aspens in Estes Park. some awareness back into your hands, your neck, your feet, even bringing your hands over your heart, your palms together to your heart. And then bowing your head to your heart. It's been an honor teaching today. Mostly it's been an honor learning from you, because the light and love in me honors all the teachers in you. Namaste. Hope you have a wonderful day. Just also note that there are other resources of adaptive yoga classes, in particular the Mind Body Solutions YouTube channel called The Hub has a lot of classes available to you to access other teachers. So if that's of interest to you, that is available. Namaste.